So this is an ongoing struggle between our mob and the Queensland Police Service. It's also really important that we come together as a community and take on Campbell Newman and Abbott and his crew and the mass forces of the mining and capitalist captains, because there are a large number of tribal nations whose country adjoins the reef and whose song lines connect with the oceans and the flora and fauna of the reef in that country. So Aboriginal people right down a large stretch of the Queensland coastline are very, very concerned about what is going to happen with that reef. And when they see this enormous amount of sludge material that's going to be dumped in very close proximity to the reef, they are becoming quite alarmed and they're reaching out.
I'd like to start with the story of a man called John Boost. A lot of people don't know this story, but back in the 60s he tried for 8 years to save Ellison Reef, just off the coast of Mission Beach, Bingle Bay, and he found out that they were going to be mining the reef because they said it was dead. He was able to prove that it wasn't dead, and then 8 years struggled to stop that mining. And the words he said in one of his speeches was, "It wasn't till it went out to the people of Australia that we were able to get it stopped. It was only people power." And I strongly believe this. It is only people power that we're going to stop this happening now. And then he wasn't satisfied with that. He found out that there were people after leases to mine in other areas of the reef. So he was the instigator to get the Great Barrier Reef listed in the World Heritage.
A few, mostly overseas owned mining companies get even richer. Well, I couldn't agree more. We've seen in the last few years, the reef's really up against it. And it's funny because it's such a beautiful big place that I think for a long time people have thought, well, it's World Heritage. If you're putting the reef on the path to World Heritage in danger listing, it's going to be a tragedy for Australia. Not only would it be a massive embarrassment for us, because the only other countries with sites on the World Heritage in danger list have good reason for that. Afghanistan, the Congo, Yemen, they've got much bigger problems than Australia faces. It must be protected, it's safe. There can't be anything threatening the reef. Surely we wouldn't do that to our most beautiful biodiversity icon. The Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority have laws about when they're meant to grant permits, and the laws say that offshore dumping is meant to be the last resort. They're meant to look at all other options, land-based disposals.
The locals up there don't want dredging. The mining industry sometimes might try and fool you that they want port expansions, they want all this development, but they do not want dredging. And that is unanimous. Fishing's pretty big up north, pretty big here as well, but it's very big up north. And people know that when the water becomes more turbid and that the seabed's disrupted, that affects fish habitat and that affects their major thing that they do on the weekend. So they're not happy about it at all.
Offshore wear is down to 24%, even though they've got this great big RO plant they reckon is cleaning all the water. It doesn't seem to be, doing much good. And
Climate change, my poor heart is nothing. We sure have started something climate.
But I'm very busy at the moment organising in the Queensland Civil Liberties Network because the same party that is hell-bent on trashing our Great Barrier Reef, the same federal government on a state level here is intent on trashing our civil liberties and our right to protest, our right to gather in groups in peaceful assembly, to introduce legislation criminalising environmental protesters who set foot on mining sites, on logging sites, and as we know our Tasmanian forests are next in the firing line. So it's incredibly important on occasions like this that we recognise how closely our different movements intersect and how important it is for the environment movement to link up with the Aboriginal movement, to link up with the civil liberties movement, to link up with all the movements that